Let's start some new seeds. Today we're starting Kirigami Oregano and Florific Sweet Orange New Guinea Patience from seed indoors. These are perfect for starting in early winter. Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden. And before we dive in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a gardening friend. Okay, so we are into actual real cold weather here in the North Texas area. We've had several days of into the 20s. And so finally my garden has gone to sleep for the winter. So I'll get about 2 months and then everything starts waking back up in mid-March, which is crazy to me. But it also really gets me excited because it's not that far away and I really want to get pumping on my seed starting. Now, so far for 2025, I'm just looking this direction at my seeds. We've started a ton of petunias, geraniums, which actually need to be potted up. Status, Forever Silver Status, we've started Creeping Daisy, Rudbeckia, Jupiter's Beard. We have, back over here, we've got, let's see, this one is Bells of Ireland. This one right here is Cleome. These over here are Delphinium that have done nothing. So that's unfortunate. And then we have tons of propagated cuttings that we did earlier in the season. So, I mean, I easily have 500 plants already. Now, am I using 500 plants in my own garden? No. A lot of this is going to go to my friend Kristen. A lot of these are annuals and they're going to be used as borders and they're going to be used in containers and a lot of different places. So, and then anything that I'm not using, I will just give away to family and friends or neighbors in my area. But today we're going to start 2 new varieties of seeds that are brand new to me this year. And that is a Florific Sweet Orange New Guinea Impatient and Kirigami Oregano. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the oregano. So the Kirigami oregano is not a edible plant. I actually see it quite frequently in the nurseries. There's never very many of the plant. They're very cool. They're sold in typically early spring, but they really don't start to put on a lot of the growth until it gets warm outside. And that's when I finally notice them in containers and stuff like that. But by then, all the plants are all sold out. So this year, I really wanted to start growing some of my own. So a little bit of things about the Kirigami oregano. Features cascading lavender purple bracts and green leaves with pink flowers, perfect for hanging baskets or as a decorative border. It's not edible, but absolutely purely decorative. It requires full sun to part shade and likes well-draining, moderately fertile soil. And it's grown as an annual, but it can be hardy in zones 9 through 11. So if I don't have a really harsh winter, I could end up being able to overwinter this. Maybe this is something that I dig up later on in the season, like towards as we're getting to winter. Maybe I dig it up and move it inside for the time being and overwinter it inside. I don't know. This would be new for me, so I really want to kind of check it out. This also tends to be a little bit more of a pricey plant, especially for an annual. So starting from seed is just really something that I think could really work out for myself because I love its texture. It's not like a big wow factor player, but it's cascading texture. It's green to pink color is absolutely beautiful, and I'd love to include this in some of my containers. Now, I got the seeds from Swallowtail Garden Seeds. That is currently my favorite seed place to order from. I am not sponsored by them. I'm not sponsored by any company, so I don't get a discount. I don't get paid. I don't get anything for giving you guys my thoughts or telling you where I bought them. It's purely my honest review, and I'm usually pretty upfront about what works well for me and what doesn't. So today we're going to start with my Amazon seed starting trays, and these trays are available through the link in my video description. It has an Amazon storefront link and they're in there. They've gone up in price over the years, but this is still very economical for a budget gardener. And basically you get a 12 cell seed starting tray, you get a water reservoir, and then you get a top lid with a dial on it so that you can close it up and have maintain the humidity and moisture inside here. You usually buy these in packs of 5 and 10, and I have lots, and I've never had to throw any away over the years at this point. Some of them have gotten like crinkly, but they haven't gotten broken, so they're still completely usable. If anything, I've lost them over the years, or gave a bunch to Kristen and I haven't gotten them back from her, so it kind of is what it is. I probably have 40 of these. But yeah, they're in really good shape, and I've really enjoyed them over the years, and they work really, really well for me. All right, so the soil we're going to be utilizing is my favorite potting soil, Burger BM7. And Burger BM7, I've had a lot of people ask where to get it. I just get it at my local nursery called Homegrown Plants in Farmersville, Texas. But it's not readily available online, and even if you order it online, it's very expensive. That does not mean you have to use this potting soil. You can use whatever potting soil works best for you. If you're going to be using potting soil for seed starting, make sure it's a potting soil that doesn't have like massive pieces of bark in it, because that kind of is a little bit more difficult. I like the fine grain quality of this, which is why it works, but there are other potting soils that you can get locally that'll work really well for you. I don't use seed starting mix. It's more expensive and it doesn't have nutrients in it, so I have to supplement with additional fertilizer, which I do fertilize my plants anyway. But this just helps because already the soil has at least some nutrients in it, whereas seed starting mix has no nutrients in it. So basically I'm just coming across and dropping the soil off the top and then taking a couple of fingers and just layering. Super easy like that. We don't want to compress the soil too much because it'll make it harder for the brand new soft roots to get through the soil. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and fill up the tray at least halfway. I usually do about 60% of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and just drop our seed cell in place and allow the water to soak up from the bottom. I do not use a wet soil starting method where I mix all the soil with the water and then put it in the containers. I find it messy and I don't like it. So I use this method. I compact all the soil in there. It's drawn up from the base and the water goes through all the soil all the way up. Maybe it takes a little bit longer for it to settle in, but it still works really, really great for me. Now let me move you guys a little bit closer so you can see the actual seed sowing. Okay, so the Kirigami, and I'm sure it's pronounced some other beautiful way, but my southern accent just destroys it, ornamental oregano. And so let's go ahead and see what this looks like. This has 25 seeds in it. My guess is I'm going to use all of them because I'm probably going to put 2 per little seed cell in here. Now, these seeds are literally like dust. They are so tiny, so I need to be very careful when using them or dropping them. Oh yeah, they're super tiny. All right, looks like I got them all out. And basically I'm just going to come in and I'm going to grab 2 seeds at a time and drop them in to a seed cell. These are surface sow. They do need light for germination, so we're not going to be covering them. I am super excited to see how these do, because if these do well, I can definitely see myself starting these for years to come. And just me over here trying to remember where I just dropped seeds, because uh-oh. Okay, so now I'm going to lightly press down and then I'm going to check my finger to make sure I'm not moving the seeds from one cell to the next. I'm not pushing down really hard. Just want to make sure the seed has really great contact with the soil, because when it has really great contact, it's easier for the root to know where to go. Okay, and on my plant tag, I'm putting today's date. Today is January 8th. This won't come out until about 4 or 5 days after. I've tried to stagger my start times for a lot of my videos, because usually I video, edit, and post all in one day. So it's a lot. So I'm trying to get a little bit ahead so it's a little bit less stressful. And so I have more time with my family in the evenings. So next thing we're going to do is going to go ahead and put a humidity dome on the top, making sure that the dial is closed. Okay, so we got that one ready to go. Now for the Kirigami Oregano, days to maturity, so that's from germination to full bloom is 12 to 16 weeks. This will germinate, the seed will germinate in about 10 to 14 days. It is surface sow, so it needs light to germinate, and it needs to be about 70 to 75 degrees in order to germinate. And my home is about like 68 to 70, 72, just depending. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put it on a seed heating mat, just like that, and it's underneath the grow lights. The grow lights are on minimum 16 hours a day, and then so are the seed starting mats, the heating mats as well. Now, once 50% of those seeds have germinated, I will remove it from the seeds, the heating mat, and I will also remove the dome on top, and I'll just move it to the side so it's still under the lights. We don't like to leave the dome on too long because it can cause mildew, disease, all kinds of stuff like that. And it does not need the heating mat after they have germinated. You can move them to a little bit of a cooler spot. All mine are inside. If you are starting seeds in a garage or a basement, it's a whole different setup for you, so you really need to set up some kind of temperature control. You can actually put a greenhouse inside your garage or basement with grow lights in it, and that'll help keep all the heat a little bit more contained. You can pop in a small heater as needed to get your seeds to the point that they need, but something like that works better than just having it out in the open when you're in the garage and basement. I also want to point out that these seeds did not need any kind of cold or cold moist stratification at all, so once you receive them, you can just go ahead and get them started. Okay, excited to get that done. Dropping stuff all over the ground. Let's go ahead and move over to the Florific Sweet Orange New Guinea Impatiens. Now I picked these seeds specifically for containers that are in the shade and for the shade garden. I wanted something very bright that I thought would look really nice. These seeds are also from Swallowtail Garden Seeds, so I'm really excited to give them a try. This is a hybrid bred for vibrant color and impressive heat tolerance, which is super important in my particular area because it gets hot July, August, and September. It has large, bright orange flowers that bloom continuously, making it ideal for shaded areas or mixed containers. It prefers partial to full shade, rich, well-draining soil, and that is consistently moist. So I will have it in areas where I have drip irrigation going to it. And it is annual in zones 1 through 9 and hardy in zones 10 and 11. So it's not going to be hardy in my particular area. But hopefully these are easy to start, and I can start many different varieties over the years. I just selected one to get started, but Swallowtail Garden Seeds had a ton of different impatiens to go from. So I'm really excited that if this works out, that I cannot wait to grow different colors in the future and have tons of vibrant colors in my shade garden. All right, so we're gonna start with our seed starting cell again and come through with our soil. And remember, we're lightly pressing the soil down, but we're not overly compacting it. When I run my hands across the top, if I see, like a piece of bark or two, I just pull those out with my fingers, no big deal. And I know this sounds silly, this is one of my favorite things about my soil mat. To go like this. Somebody was commenting that my soil mat was crappy because it wasn't standing up. It's not standing up because I crumple it up. So you could store it in a way where it would all stand up. Also, if it was filled, all the sides would stand up just fine. So I haven't had any issues with it. Is it the best quality soil mat ever? No. Has it lasted me multiple years for a small amount of money? Yes. Okay, so we'll take our water reservoir and we'll go ahead and fill it up at least 50% of the way. All right, and then we'll go ahead and sink this down, allow it to continue soaking up. And let me bring you guys closer so you can see me sowing the actual seeds. Okay, so it is suggested that these are surface sowed with vermiculite, so we are going to be adding that here. These seeds are a little bit larger than the ones we just dealt with the oregano. And there are 15 seeds. We're going to go ahead and use every single one of them. So some of these I'll put 2 seeds in. I know it sounds crazy, but I kind of love it when a packet just has like 12 or 15. Usually the price is less. And I love the feeling of using an entire packet of seeds. Okay, this had a few extra. had more than 15 in it. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to come through and lightly press, making sure I check my finger so I don't move the seed from one container to the next. And like I said, they do suggest vermiculite for this one. So I'm just going to come through with a light covering of vermiculite, nothing too heavy. And vermiculite just really helps with maintaining moisture at the top of the soil. And I am going to make sure I put today's date on here as well. And we'll go ahead and slip that into the tray, and then we will get a humidity dome, place it on top, making sure that the dial is closed. Okay, got that one sown as well. So a few things on this particular seed. It does not require any kind of cold or cold moist stratification. So as soon as you receive the seed, you can go ahead and start it. Days to maturity, so that's from when it sprouts to when it starts producing blooms, is 12 to 16 weeks. It is about 7 to 14 days to germinate, and it needs to have light to germinate, so it needs to be under the lights, and it needs to be at about 70 to 75 degrees, which is the same as the oregano. So we'll just go ahead and make room right here. All right, and there we go. And then just a reminder, once again, once at least 50% of your seedlings or seeds have germinated, you can go ahead and remove it from the heat and remove the humidity dome. You can wait longer if you want, make it maybe a day or two. But if you've had seeds germinate, don't wait another week and a half for that 1 or 2 seeds left to germinate, because you really risk damaging all the other seedlings by waiting for that one seed that might be a little bit behind. But like if you have 50% germinate, you can wait another day or 2, and that would be fine. After that, if no more have germinated, just go ahead and take the lid off and remove it from the heat. Okay, exciting. I'm glad to have those 2 done. Brand new seeds for me to give a trying out. So I'm hoping that they're easy to get going, especially the impatiens. If impatiens are easy to seed, easy to grow from seed, you're going to see a massive expansion of them next year. I might grow 50 next year and fill my entire shade garden with all beautiful, bright colored impatiens. I would love to do that. So we'll see, and I'll definitely keep you all updated on that. I will continue doing seedling updates. So basically I'll do a whole video and show you every single one of my seedlings, whether they're doing great or whether they're failing. And I'll talk to you about any issues I'm having, maintenance I'm going through, problems to look at, things to deal with. Seedling maintenance is super important. On a lot of the YouTube channels, we see a lot of starting seeds, and then we see them planting them out, the seedlings out in the garden. We don't see a lot of in between when there's maintenance time. And I am definitely growing all mine inside, and I have a lot of maintenance to do with them prior to getting them out in mid-March after my last frost. So I'll definitely update that for you guys and show you all what's going on. Right now, everything's doing well. It looks like I'm finally getting my some of my mealybugs infestations under control. So that's as good as well. Gosh, I'm struggling today with my speech. Anyway, we are moving into some additional stuff. We're going to be starting some Solidago, some Verbascum, which are both already in the refrigerator going through cold moist stratification. We're going to be starting Bacopa, Gerber Daisy, Lemon Thyme, Saponaria, Mesa Peach, Gaillardia. We're also going to be starting a whole bunch of varieties of peppers and eggplants as well. So we definitely still have a lot more seed starting that's going to occur over the next few weeks. There'll also be a lot of videos on winter gardening, winter inspiration. Once things warm up just a touch, I'll go outside and I'll continue with some more off-season projects. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, make sure you like and comment on this video. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow the channel so much. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just drop me an emoji below, letting me know that you made it to the end of the video and that you say hi. And be sure to check me out on my social media outlets, including Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If TikTok ends up getting banned, you can find me on YouTube Shorts. As always, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.